Hey besties, welcome to Brunch. My name is Taquira Peoples and you guys are listening to the Late Brunch Show with Taquira Peoples. Before I get started with this episode, which I am so excited, this is going to be such a fun episode. I just want to say if you are listening to this podcast episode, you guys can actually go watch the video version over my YouTube channel at Taquira Peoples, and the other way around, if you are watching the video version on YouTube, you can actually go and listen to my podcast over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or anywhere you guys can find podcast. Also, it'd really help me out if you guys rate my podcast over on those websites too, like 5 stars if you want. If you like hate me, I totally give you like 1 star. This girl's so annoying. But yeah, you guys should go rate me, follow me over on those platforms, and subscribe. I think subscribe on Spotify. I could totally be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's subscribe on Spotify. Yeah, so let's get right on in with this episode because I'm so excited. This podcast episode, we're going to be talking about baby names that I love that I will not be using in the future. Am I married? No. Do I have a boyfriend? No. Am I single? Yes. But this episode idea came from my older sister because I was like, Maisha, I have no idea what my next episode should be about. I think I talked about literally everything but nothing at the same time. Like, I have no idea what to do. She's like, well, you know what you should do is every month you should do like your top 10 favorites. In August, you should do your top 10 baby names that you love but will not be using in the future. And I was like, you're smart. I like that. So that is what this episode is going to be. My top 10 baby names that I love but will not be using. Also, I have some aunt tips because I am an aunt. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I think I'm really going to be an aunt. And I want to give you guys some advice, some aunt life advice. And yeah, so this is the first episode of my top 10 since it is August. Happy August. Welcome to August, everyone. It's almost fall. Are we excited or what? I'm so excited. I love fall. Anyways, just get right on in with the baby names because I am obsessed with these names. But like I said, I will not be using these names in the future unless my husband was like, actually, I want to use that. And I was like, okay, because I like the name anyways. So let's get right on in with the girl names. I'm going to do 10 girl names, 10 boy names. Let's just get right on into it. Get into it, yeah. I have my handy dandy phone with my handy dandy notes app. And the first name for girls I have on my list is the name of Pristy. The meaning of this basically is the feeling of the warmth of the summer sun. I think this is such a beautiful name. I love the meaning. I think if you are planning on having a daughter in like the wintertime, or you are expecting a daughter in the wintertime, I think this is such a beautiful name. I love like winter names so much. Hopefully one day, like when I get pregnant, I would love to plan it so I am like my kid is like born in the winter time. Like I love winter babies. I love winter name themes. So yeah, I love the name of Pristy. I think it is so cute. It's so just like beautiful. Just the name of Pristy. Like, are you kidding? That is such a beautiful name. Another name I love so much is the name Arrow. It's very simple, very just like, it's just so simple and it's so like minimalistic at the same time. Basically, means a projectile fired from a bow. I think we all know what arrow is. But yeah, I think the name is just super beautiful. I just love how simple it is. The next name I have on my list, this is such a cute name. Oh my god, I am obsessed with this. This is Caprice, which basically means whimsical. If you're like having like a very like whimsical like nursery and you're having a hard time figuring out like a very like just like a fantasy name, I think Caprice works so well for that. I think it's such a beautiful name, just like Caprice. Like, are you kidding me? It does kind of sound like a Capri Sun, but just like better because I think it's so cute. And the next name I have on this list, I genuinely love this name. I love all these names, so it's just a lot, but I think this name is so beautiful. Is the name Claudia. I love this name so much. There's a YouTuber, her name is Claudia. So, I'm not going to try pronouncing her last name. I think all I know her name is Claudia. I think she's dating Phineas, which is Billie Eilish's brother. But I love her YouTube channel. I feel like I know her last name, but I feel like I don't know her last name, so I'm not going to try it. But yeah, I just love that name. It does mean lame / enclosed, but like, it's a name and it's beautiful and I like it. I don't like the meaning of it necessarily, but I just think the name Claudia is very beautiful and very just like elegant in a way. The next name I have on here is the name Francesca. I love this name. I went to high school with a girl named Francesca, and I've always just loved her name. It means French and free. And if you are like, I want like a French Europe name, and you're having like a really hard time like figuring one out, I think Francesca is such a chef's kiss of a name. It's so beautiful. I am in love with it. The next name I love too is Lottie. Oh my god, I adore that name. It's so adorable. I think it's also very simple and minimalistic, kind of like Ariel. Lottie, it means tiny and feminine. I think I always have a hard time saying that word, but yeah, I love that name so much. It's so beautiful. This next one, I literally, like, I kid you guys not, if my husband in the future were like, I actually like that name, I'm going to be using this. Even though I said I won't be using it, but like if I do use it, like don't be surprised, is the name Merla, which means sea/beauty. I think if you and your husband or you and your boyfriend or whatever your situation is, if the sea or the ocean means something to you, I think the name Merla is perfect. Or if you and your husband like met, or your boyfriend or whoever you met on a cruise ship and you guys are having a kid, I just think the name Merla is such a beautiful name, and like you can like tie it into like your life in so many ways if you're like live by the ocean, or if like the beach has like a huge part of your relationship, or you guys, like I said, you guys met on a cruise ship or something like that. I think the name Merla is very beautiful. The next name I love so much is the name Spencer. I love this name so much. Yeah, I just love the name Spencer. I think it's very cute. I think it's very like rich sounding. It has a very like posh-esque feel to it. Just saying like, oh, my name's Spencer, like that's just like, I don't know, it makes it like, you go girl, like a girl boss name. Which means the Spencer, I'm not gonna try pronouncing this last word, bro. I have such a hard dispenser of provisions. Don't know what that means, but love that for you if your name is Spencer. Another name that I love is the name Cardia. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so elegant. I think it's literally, in the meaning of this name, I think, like, let me tell you the meaning of this name. It is the love a parent has for their child. I think if you had a very difficult time like getting pregnant, because I know a lot of women or people do have a hard time getting pregnant, and you know, this is like, my camera literally just cut off right there. So what I was saying was that I think if you're having you had like a hard time like getting pregnant, and you're finally pregnant and you're having a daughter, I just think the name Cardia is perfect, and I just love that name so much. The next name that I have for a girl is the name Yasmine. If you're like me and you watched Bratz growing up, Yasmine was my favorite. I've always been obsessed with that name. The meaning of the name is jasmine flower. Yeah, I just love the name Yasmine. I think it's very cute and just like aesthetically pleasing to look at. Like the name just Yasmine, I love it. On to the boys' names. Before I even start like listing them, I love like woodsy, adventurous names for like boys. So that's kind of what this list is kind of like mainly. So yeah, let's get right on in with the boy names, shall we? The first name I have on my list is the name Asher. I love this name so much. I think if you don't want to use the name Ashton, because I know the name is getting like really popular, you can just go with Asher instead. The name means happy and blessed, which I just think is such a cute meaning for like a boy, or like just a cute meaning name for a kid. A cute meaning for a name for a kid. I hope that makes sense what I just said. The next name I have is the name Forrest. I love the name Forrest so much. I genuinely might use this for my kid's name if my husband does not like my kid name that I already picked out for our future son, which I will not be saying on this video. But yeah, the name Forest just means outside. I just think it's very like woodsy and just like, I don't know, this is a cute little boy's name. Like, you know, you're talking about a little toddler and oh, look at my little Forest. Oh, I love that. The next name I love is the name Calyx. There's something about this name where I think it's very simple. And it's kind of like minimalistic, just like the name Arrow and the other name I said, totally forgot. Oh, and Lottie, I think I said. Yeah, Calyx, it means husk or pod. I just think I just think Calyx is such a cute, kind of just, I don't know, there's something about the name Calyx that's just like, wow, chef's kiss for me. I just love that name so much. The next name I am genuinely obsessed with. I think it's such an adorable name, and that is the name Koa. And the name means hope and a congregation. Yeah, also the name Coco I'm gonna call it kid it. For like the kid is so cute, like Coco, like oh my god, I just love it. Especially the name is like Koa. It's very simple, sorry I said it again, very minimalistic. It's very just like aesthetically pleasing also to look at, Kao. Oh my god, I love it so much. Another name that I love too is Wilder. The name means untamed. I just say that fits like a little boy perfectly, or even a girl if you want to name your daughter Wilder. Wilder. I just think it's so cute, and it's very just like oh my god, and like you can have like their nursery like a jungle theme. Oh my god, that's so cute. Are you kidding me? The next name I genuinely love is the name Harrison. I don't know what it is. I just love that name so much. It basically just means the son of Harry Styles. I don't know. The son of Harry. Who's Harry? I don't know. But I love that name. The next name I love is Cole, spelled Kol, which means dark. Like a dark forest, a dark area. That's how I kind of look at the name. Yeah, I just love the name Cole so much. Now this next name is another winner name. I know, who's surprised? And it is the name Noelle, which means born on Christmas. I love the name Noelle. There's a YouTuber, his name is Noelle Miller. He's like a commentary YouTuber. He also has a podcast with the YouTuber Cootie Co. Yeah, I just love his name, and I love the name Noelle. I think it's so cute. And the future daughter name I have picked out is kind of almost similar to the name Noelle, but not exactly. So yeah, Noelle just has a very special place in my heart. The next name I love so much is the name Styles. Now this name is becoming very, very popular because of the Teen Wolf star Styles Selinsky, played by Dylan O'Brien. Love him, talented, gifted. Wish I could meet him one day. But the name means steep, hill, or steps, which I just think it's a really cute meaning, especially if you had like a hard time, like again, kind of like the name Cardia. If you had a hard time getting pregnant and you know you had to like walk up like a mountain to get over it, and you finally did it and you're at the top, you're like, let's just name our kids Styles. I don't know. I think like it makes sense in my head. Hopefully that made sense. And the last name I have on my list for boys is the name Corbin, which is a sacrifice or offering to God, which I just love that like meaning. Like I don't know. I just like I'm like a Christian or whatever. But yeah, I just love that name Corbin. I think it's very simple and very cute and just charming. Like Corbin. Like this is so cute. Yeah, those are all the names I have. Let's get right on into aunt life and my advice for being an aunt. So being an aunt is a really big part of my life. I've been an aunt since I've been born. Like I have stepsisters, and they've had literally when I was born, like they had kids already. So I literally popped out of the womb an aunt. So I'm very, very educated on being an aunt. But recently my sister back in 2019 or 18 gave birth to my nephew Liam. When she gave birth to Liam, I was like, okay, like when I was younger, I wasn't really involved in my nephew's or niece's lives just because I was still a baby. Like I still was growing up. I didn't know what it exactly meant to be an aunt. I was just like, yeah, that's my nephew there. But now that I know what it takes and what it is, I would say is the number one advice would give to an aunt coming in, like a new aunt, is to be there for your sister or your brother in that case, or your sister-in-law. I think just being there for them and like letting them know that you're proud of them, and that just like being there for them and just giving them love, you know what I mean? It's like once a baby's there, don't forget about them. Don't just call them and be like, I want to talk to the baby. Talk to them as well. I would say that even though I do sometimes call my sister, I'm like, I just want to talk to babies. I still do talk to my sister when I want to. But yeah, just be there for them. For being an aunt, and I think it's also, I would say you learn a lot from being around kids. Like my nephews really taught me patience is something that they taught me. You really need to have patience. I remember when I would like see like a screaming baby and like, oh my gosh, shut that baby fucking up. And then, like, when my mom and I would have the kids and, like, listening to Liam just started screaming and having, like, take him out into the car and just be like, okay, like, calm down. You have, like, a big feeling right now. Let's talk about it. It can be kind of embarrassing, and just being patient with them and understanding that, like, little things to kids are a big deal, and understanding that their feelings are valid instead of being, oh my gosh, get over it. Like, no, like, let them, like, explain to you why they're mad. And instead of thinking, oh my god, literally just shut up, like, I get, and obviously don't tell your kid to shut up, that's not nice. Just being like, okay, like, it's not that big of a deal, but to them it is, and it's like, tell them that their feelings are valid, tell them that they're okay, and that what they're going through is hard. If, let's just say that my nephew dropped his ice cream cone and he just starts screaming, he's like, I want my ice cream, yeah, it's a big deal to him. And he's sad, and it's like, yeah, like, okay, like, it's sad, but what we're gonna do is, you know, it fell, we can go get you another one. Or you can have something else as a treat. Like, you know what I mean? It's like being, like, very, like, compromise with them is another good thing I've learned. Being able to compromise. Sharing is another thing that I learned from them. I hated sharing my drinks with people. I hated sharing food with people. I did not like when people use the same straw as me. I did not like when people use the same stuff as me. But my older sister and mine, she was like, well, if you're going to teach if you're going to have to teach your kids to share, you also have to share as well. And so, just like when my nephew was like, can I have a sip of your drink? And being like, instead of me being like, oh my god, I don't want a nasty toddler mouth on my straw, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And then I wipe my straw viciously off. I'm like, I do not want to slobber on my straw. But it's like letting him use it and being like, okay, like, he's thirsty, here, have some. Because then, like, obviously, he's like, if I'm like, Leon, I want a sip of your milkshake, he's not going to be like, no, Mo. He's not like, have some of my milkshake. Or it's like showing snacks. My nephew Miles James, he does not like showing snacks, which I get. You know what I mean? It's so funny. I used to be like, Liam is a food-driven baby, but like now it's like totally the opposite. Like, my nephew Miles is definitely the food-driven baby. He, like, do not touch his food. His food is his food. He will share his toys with you, play with you. He just does not mess around when it comes to food, and I respect that. Yeah, I would just say sharing, caring. I really learned how to care for people. I used to have a really hard time just, like, understanding on how to care, but I feel like I really do, like, care about my nephews, and I really do care about my family, and a very family-oriented person, which back in the day, I was never family-oriented. I could not give a heck about my family when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I really do love my family. I think I also learned that as well. And another thing that I learned, too, is not to live with hatred in your heart. I think when, like, my nephew's like, I hate my brother, to be like, no, you don't hate. Don't say hate. Hate is a very strong word. You can dislike them at the moment, but saying that you hate someone is not nice. And I think I'm going to teach my kids that as well, is that when they say, I hate this or I hate them, to be like, no, that's not okay. You can dislike something, like I just said, but saying hate, it's not nice. It's not nice to hate things. It's not nice to live with hatred in your heart, and it is okay to dislike things. That is some advice. I thought I would have a lot more advice, but I think I just kept on rambling on about the same things over and over again. The next thing I want to talk about is my future birth plan. Even though I'm not pregnant, I do not have a husband, I do not have a boyfriend, I'm very much single, I do have, like, an idea of how I want my birth to go. So because I do have cystic fibrosis, being pregnant is going to be a lot, and I'm going to make sure I do it safely. So I would have to go to a hospital just because of my health problems. Yeah, but when I do give birth, I want it in a very calm, relaxing room. I would love to be able to have, like, candles lit that are, like, calming candles, or like a, or like a, what is it called? A diffuser, I believe it is, like an air diffuser with, like, calming essential oils going, so it's very just, like, relaxing. I love, like, the lights dim. I don't want a lot of, like, hustle and bustle. I just want everything to be mellow and calm and relaxing. I want my husband to, like, film some stuff, but not me giving birth. I don't even want to see that. Birth, blood. I am terrified of blood, which is something I am so scared about giving birth, is, like, blood and, like, seeing something I don't want to see. Like I said, I don't want to see anything, but I do just want to be able to, like, look back and be able to just, like, see the process, but not the actual, like, birthing process, because absolutely not. I literally would throw up. I also want to take Polaroid pictures during my pregnancy. It's not like birth weight. I just want to be able to take pictures during my pregnancy and like have like a little like book for them when they're older that they can look back at. Oh, this is my mom pregnant with me, and this is like, you know, like just I have like a little book. They have them on Amazon. I think it's like you write a page every single day up until their like 18th birthday and they're graduating high school, and you give them to them. I think that is such a cute idea. Another thing that I want in my birth plan, if hospitals are allowing it, my mom to be there. My mom literally is like the biggest part of my life. I love my mom so much. She literally means everything to me. So like having my mom there would mean so much to me. And just like, I don't know, I just want my mom. When I don't feel good, if I'm going through something, I literally just want my mom. So yeah, I would love to be able to have my mom there with me. Yeah, that's mainly it. I just want a very calming birth. I want it to be very calming, relaxing. I don't want, like, anything, if something is going wrong, I don't want to start stressing me out, then stress my baby out, basically. Yeah, that's basically all I have for this podcast episode. I'm so sorry if this was, like, all over the place, or it's, like, very, like, hard to listen to. I had a fun time talking about this stuff. If you guys have any ideas what I should talk about next for my top 10 list for the month of September, comment that down below. Also, like I said, go rate this podcast over on Spotify, Apple Music, or if you're listening there, give this a podcast a 5-star, leave a review, or on anywhere you can find podcasts. And if you're watching a video, hope you guys love this video. Give the video a big like, comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you guys get notified whenever I upload a new podcast episode. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday for brunch. Bye guys.
It's 5:50 something and I feel so empty inside.